Good morning. If you would please introduce yourself and spell your name for us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deputy Rahman. That's Rahman.
First name?
Adam.
Good morning, Deputy Rahman. Where are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and I'm assigned to the Patrol Division, and I work in District 1.
All right. How long have you been working with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
Approximately 4 years.
Did you have any prior law enforcement experience before that?
No, I did not.
All right. Back on August 29th of 2022, what were you doing at that time?
I was assigned to the Patrol Division that night, and I was completing just one of my normal 12-hour shifts.
Okay. What are your general duties as a patrol deputy?
We handle various calls for service, we conduct traffic stops, and we do proactive policing to deter crime.
Now, back on August 29th of 2022, how long had you been employed as a Hillsborough County Sheriff's Deputy?
I did approximately 1 year in the academy, and I was finishing up the FTO process, which is approximately 4 months.
All right, and what is that? So it's a 4-month process. During that time period, are you assigned to work with someone?
Yeah, so I'm assigned to another deputy who's pretty much like he will train me per each shift, and I was finishing it up. I had 2 days left with him, and then I was going to be on my own.
All right, and who was this deputy? Who was your field training deputy?
Deputy Rainey.
All right. Now, when as you work with Deputy Rainey, do you all ride together and go to each of the calls together?
Yes, we do. I'm typically the one driving, and he's the one sitting in the passenger seat, just foreseeing what I'm doing and making sure that I'm not messing up anything critical.
All right. Now, on August 29th of 2022, did you receive a call to respond to a scene out on Heritage Club Drive?
Yes, I did.
And did you recall what was it that you believed you were responding to at that time?
We were responding to a shooting call for service.
All right. And were you one of the first units on scene?
Yes, I was.
What did you do when you arrived?
Well, once we arrived, we coordinated with the other deputies that were on scene, and we made a tactical entry into the living room. And then what we observed once we got on scene, we observed a adult male, Jermaine Bass, the defendant, and he was holding his son, who's also named Jermaine Bass, on the couch in the living room.
Prior to going into the residence, when you pulled up, did you see anyone outside, or did you observe anyone outside?
Yes, I believe I saw it was the mother, Shirley. She was outside, and she was screaming. She was just pretty much just screaming at the top of her lungs.
Okay. And could you tell really what she was saying?
Not exactly. I can't make out what she was saying, but she was screaming.
How would you describe her demeanor at that point?
Very frantic and scared, and just horrific is a good word to use for it.
Now, when you made the tactical decision to go in, do you all take out your firearms as you do that?
Yes, we all did have our lethal weapons drawn.
All right, and what's the point of that?
Because we don't know what we're going into when we get a shooting call for service. There is the undeniable that there is a firearm located in the house, or there isn't a firearm located in the house, and once we determine that the scene is safe and there is no credible threat, that's when we holster our weapons.
Okay. So you described that you went into the residence, you saw the defendant, Jermaine Bass?
Yes, sir.
And he was holding his child?
Yes, he was.
And just for the record right now, do you see the person you saw in that room holding that child on that day?
Yes, I do.
Can you identify him just for the record?
He's sitting over there in the gray tuxedo.
Record reflects he has identified the defendant, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right. Now, who all entered with you? Do you recall?
Yes, it was me, Deputy Rainey, Deputy Vander Bosch, Deputy White, and Deputy Nathaniel Jones. We were the initial first deputies on scene.
All right. As you go in, and you said you saw the defendant there holding his child, what else did you go upstairs?
So I did not go upstairs. Once we observed the defendant, Jermaine Bass, holding his son, we observed what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the left side of his head. And immediately we just attempted to render medical aid. Me and my partner, Deputy Vander Bosch, we grabbed our agency-issued medical kit, and we began to wrap his head in gauze to try to put pressure on the wound and stop the bleeding.
All right. Did you hear the father saying anything about what happened?
Yes, he's made the spontaneous statement that it was an accidental discharge.
All right. Were you wearing a body-worn camera on that day?
Yes, I was.
All right. And have you had a chance to review what's already been introduced into evidence of State's Exhibit number 4?
Yes, I have.
All right. And does this pretty fairly accurately depict what you saw when you went through on that morning?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's just renewed objections to the testimony.
All right, thank you.
Hey, can you go help him? Yep, they're up here. Take him to the hospital. Alright, paramedics come. Oh, please, now. The gun discharge. Somebody got a med bag. Get a med bag. You want to put it on? Please, hurry. They're coming. Hey, can you hear me? Oh, they're here. They're coming. Yeah, they're cleaned upstairs. We turned it downstairs. All right, go ahead. It's okay. Not yet.
What happened upstairs?
Said it was an accidental discharge.
Accident discharge. Even the one upstairs? Yes. Where's he at? Oh, we got a light on? Here, I'll go down. Thank you. Alright. Okay, well, we got these bands right. Want to throw this on? Where's the firearm? In the room. In the room? In the master bedroom. In the master bedroom on the dresser. Okay. You packed those. Where's he hit? I don't know where he's hit. Where's the leg? So he's got one in the head. One on the south, one in the head. Here. Yeah, here. We're gonna have to lift this out. It was going, I was trying to take out the magazine and went off. Alright, we'll get it figured out this time. What happened upstairs? Get enough of his eyes. Nothing happened upstairs. There we go, got his eyes. Alright, do you have those two pins? I got one. Alright. Alright, we got those pins. We'll just hold that one. Okay, let's see if we can check him for more injuries. Not yet, sir. Accidental discharge here. We got another victim upstairs. We got another. Still don't have a signature. Where's the gun? Be honest. It's upstairs on the dresser. On top of it? Or in the dresser? On top of the dresser. Okay. Where it should still be
In the dresser, in that silver dresser, with the mirror in the master bedroom. Yes.
He's got one here. Okay. What's one upstairs? Hey, what's up? What's upstairs?
What's upstairs?
Adult?
No, juvenile, female.
Okay. Take this one to the rescue time. No. Two juvenile.
Stay right where you're at. Stand up for me real quick. Nice. Pass down the weapon. Put your hand on your head. Just put it on your head. Your head. Turn off on me. Hey, where's that one injured at, you know?
He's got something inside the head in his head. That's all we saw. Here, coming down now. We have a 4-year-old.
Where at?
Hey, through.
So you're saying that whatever happened to him, is that your son? Both of those are my kids. Both of those are your kids. So it accidentally discharged and hit your son. What happened to your daughter upstairs?
The same thing. There was both in the bed. It was just one
They were
round.
both in the bed together?
Yes. I think I remember from the last.
You're saying both kids were in the bed together? Deputy, a couple quick questions following that. So when that video shows you walking in, the sound doesn't come on for a little while. Why is that?
So, en route to the call, the body cam was muted because I was having a conversation with my FTO while getting to the call, and we didn't want that just to be for the a minute or 2 minutes that it was prior to the video that captured audio, just because I was fairly new at the time, so he was kind of walking me through and maybe just calming my nerves a little bit, and that's essentially why it was.
Okay, and so did you manually turn on the sound so that it would pick up the?
Yes, once we made entry, I manually turned it on.
Okay, that thing that they brought in where you pulled out, what is that called? Where you pulled out the gauze?
That is our agency issued medical kit, and it carries things such as quick clot, I think just extra tourniquets, gauze, things of that nature to render aid in instances like this.
Okay, and every deputy carries one in their vehicle?
Yes.
All right. After attending the boy's injuries and you went out, did you do anything else while you were at the scene?
Once the scene was cleared and both juveniles were removed from the residence, my next task was scene safety and the security of the scene. I stood in the front door while just maintaining the crime scene until I was tasked to do a neighborhood survey with the adjacent building next to it.
And what is a neighborhood survey?
Neighborhood survey essentially is what it is deputies will go and they'll knock on other doors or people that were close to the incident, such as neighbors, just to see if they want to do an interview and see if they heard anything, saw anything, just to gather more information.
And after you did that neighborhood survey, did that conclude your involvement in the case?
Yes, that was my conclusion. That concludes my involvement in the case after that neighborhood survey.
I might have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Judge, I will pass the witness at this time.
All right. Cross.
Morning, Deputy. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am. Good. How are you?
All right, I'm good. Thank you. At the time that this happened, you indicated that you were in training?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were, what, 2 days from being on your own?
Yeah, phase 4, day 5 to be precise.
Right. And Deputy Rainey, who was here in the hallway, and you've seen that was your FTO?
Yes, ma'am.
An FTO field training officer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You arrived about 10:33 to the scene. Is that correct?
Approximately that time, yes, ma'am.
And I just want to talk to you very briefly about the lady that you saw outside. It's safe to say that you saw her pretty briefly, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Potentially just walking past her to get inside of the apartment, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you've never met her before, correct?
No, ma'am.
All right. Now, on your body cam there, I heard Mr. Bass talking about where the gun is, and I heard him talking about being on, and I also heard him say it's in the silver dresser. Do you remember both of those?
Yes, ma'am, I believe he made both those statements.
Thank you. Now, when you entered the scene, it looks like you're rendering aid. Is that with Deputy Vanderbosch?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you first entered, until you took over care, you and Deputy Vanderbosch of the son, JJ, blood was actually coming down from JJ down to Mr. Bass and onto the couch, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I also heard Mr. Bass, he's saying, please now call the paramedics, please now. Do you remember that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at some point, we see a pat down. Is that pretty much just standard because a gun is involved in this case?
It was standard, yes, because the firearm wasn't involved and we had not located it at that time.
Okay. And you did not find anything during that, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And may I have a moment, Judge?
Yes.